Well, I'm an old vet. I was in the Marine Corps from 1955 until the end of 1958, and I was an electronics man, electrician that flew in attack planes, propeller attack planes in those days. And I was an atomic, biological, and chemical warfare paramedic. And when I was in the service, I got to go to Cuba, and we were there to bluff Castro and try to keep Batista in power, who was protecting the mafia and the drug trade. And then I went to Beirut to bluff there, and we were trying to protect big oil. And then I went to Vietnam, and we were trying to protect big U.S. rice and the tungsten industry, because that was a big part of the Vietnam economic success story. And in all these experiences, I started asking myself, what am I doing here? I came in here as a patriot. I came in here to defend my country, and all I'm doing is defending the mafia and corporate America. And so when I got out of the Marine Corps, I decided I wanted to go back to college. One of the great things the Marine Corps did was give me a really good self-image. And before that, I came off of a farm. I grew up on a farm, and I thought really all I could ever do was just be a farm laborer as a kid and an adult. And I'm still that, of course, but I decided to go to college. Went to college, got a PhD, and then I taught at the University of California and was involved in anti-war activities there and civil rights activities, and I got fired for that and spent a year in jail. And I've been an anti-war activist all these years, not because I'm anti-soldier or Marine, and soldiers are different Marines. I mean, Marines want to be known as Marines, and we are. And I'm all of us kids that went in there believing that we were in there to do some really great things, a lot of us became disillusioned, and a lot of the people in anti-war movements are ex-military people. So after I came out of jail, I decided I'm going to go back into farming, and I started organic farming, and I've been organic farming ever since. So I started in '68 when I was still teaching at the University of California, and then I got my own farms by 1971 after I got out of jail. And one of the things that is really very interesting about what's going on right now is that most of our wars, whether it's Grenada or Panama or Guatemala or wherever, Iraq twice and Afghanistan, is we're protecting a growth culture that is dominating the world global markets. And that growth culture takes an enormous amount of money, to promote all this growth, and takes an enormous amount of military to defend it. And we're in this position right now where all of our infrastructure in this country is falling apart. A city street in Manhattan blew up because of faulty steam pipes just recently. The bridge in Minneapolis is just an indicator bridge. There's 77,000 bridges in this country that need repair, that are unsafe to pass over. So here we are, with our infrastructure falling apart, and our agricultural infrastructure is falling apart. We were promised $40 billion for conservation security money, and George, how much have we gotten? I'd say maybe, what, $4 or $5 million? nothing to speak of, and most of that money was directed to Republican districts. So here we are in this situation where the Conservation Security Program is underfunded, the EQIP program is underfunded, the Conservation Reserve Program is underfunded, and in every one of those programs there are programs to help farmers make transitions to sustainable and organic agriculture. That money is not getting to the farmers. It's not getting to our local communities. We feel on our farm, and we feel, a lot of my friends feel like we need to change this growth culture for a fix-it culture. We need to start fixing the stuff that is, obviously falling apart in this country. And one of the things that's really falling apart in this country is agriculture. Our groundwater is full of lead and arsenic. The system that we have for agriculture right now is a dangerous agricultural system, and it's getting worse. So, what we've decided on our farm is that we're not going to depend on government, because we can't depend on government to fix it. We've fixed these things ourselves. We figured out how to do organic by combining with other farmers and sharing ideas and letting us leapfrog over problems. We can do the same thing with vets coming back from the war. We want vets on our farms. We want vets on our farm because we feel like, not only am I a vet, but I feel like a lot of the vets have gone through a lot of the same kind of things that farmers have gone through. Farmers are bankrupt, and most farmers have either lost a finger, a leg, an eye, a foot, a hand. Most of us are damaged, but we're still farming. We're still farming. And so what we feel like is we have an educational center already at our farm, and Xavier Johnson is here now. We're trying to work with inner city people already to try to bring organic and clean food into the inner city. Most of the food in the inner city is, you can get it at convenience stores and liquor stores, and it's all processed. Well, it's the same kind of food that you get when you're in the service. You get, convenience store food and processed food. We can change that. We can change these inner city systems, and we can change lives for soldiers and Marines and sailors that come back out of combat zones. We know we can do it because you just see people light up when they start learning how to grow food for themselves, and it's probably one of the most empowering things we can do. So I hope all of you will join with us and try to get as many farms that will accept vets coming back from the war, because I think it's a real way that we can rehabilitate these people that have gone there with a purpose and a vision of being patriotic Americans and come back, and are treated terrible in our military hospitals and basically, rejected by the society. So thanks a lot for coming, and we're going to make some changes, and a lot of it will be with your help.